And so the run ends. The Raiders are eliminated from the playoffs with a 23-20 loss to the Colts. Welcome into Raiders Game Day. I'm Amber Theoharis along with James Jones and Eric Allen. And it's sad that we're in this position. We were hoping that we would have a chance going into the Broncos game to at least still be alive. But a lot of things went wrong. That dominant defense that we have been seeing the past couple of games wasn't as dominant, didn't have the game-changing plays. The offense struggled to score points, only had 10 points going into the fourth quarter, where finally they got something going. Yeah. There was times where they kicked field goal where they could have had 7, and that makes a difference in a 3-point game. But here we are, Eric Allen.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the last couple of weeks have been really fun, you know, playing complementary football, defensively, getting scores, pick sixes, from recoveries, offensively. Oh, you can't think that that's going to happen every week. There's going to come a point where offensively you need to be consistent, you need to create an identity, and we just didn't have. We didn't have explosive plays where I thought we could really bank on coming off of some of the games, particularly the Charger game. Just very disappointing today that we weren't able to get it done.
Yeah, it just sucks, man, because Antonio got this job just a little too late. Yeah. Because, I mean, since he's got the job, the way they've been playing football, it's been some close games, some tough losses, some really good wins, but today was just offensively. Defense has been lights out.
Yeah,
We've been waiting on our defense to show up year in and year out, and these last 8 games, this defense has been playing out of their mind. The offense has just been on a little roller coaster, couldn't really get consistent. And we sit here right now losing a lot of close games again this season. Tough. I feel like I was out there playing because playoff hopes is over, man.
Yeah, it's a tough feeling. Here's 3 big things that we're going to talk about here on the show. One highlight was Zamir White. Over these last 3 games, we've really found out that we've got a dog. The Raiders have a dog in Zamir White going forward. He can run the football. We'll talk to him. Jack Jones, who was the defensive hero the past 2 games, had 2 crucial penalties.
Questionable calls.
But turned out to be crucial. And then Antonio Pierce, now 4-4 as interim coach of the Raiders. We'll talk about what the future could hold for him. But let's get to the game action, and it's always fun to have the Raiders travel on the road. You know the black hole is coming with you to Indy. Colts opening drive. They wasted no time facing a 3rd down. Gardner Minshew finds Josh Downs, 50 yards.
Minshew seems to kind of play well against the Raider team. Yeah.
Well, he's played well this year. He has the team in the AFC wildcard spot right now.
Off-scripted plays, too. Those off-scripted plays is the ones that really can put, you know, a dagger in the defense. And then, obviously, these type players that they have right there, Jonathan Taylor coming downhill for the first score of the game.
Yeah, just like that, they're up 7-0. So the Raiders tried to respond here, and Zamir White, we said, he's got some legs on him, 14 yards. 3 plays later, 3rd and long, and Devontae Adams comes up on the sideline with the catch there. 24 yards for him.
Did he go over 1,000? Did he go over 1,000?
Went over 1,000.
Oh, good.
4 years in a row.
Man, just Mr. Consistent.
That's right.
4 years in a row. 1,000.
Another 3rd and long. And Amir Abdullah getting in on it. 18 yards down to the Indy 22. First down Raiders, but the Raiders would not get inside the 20. They have to settle for a field goal. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
You're at the 22. You got to get a first down in the red zone to get 7.
Touchdown.
So 7-3. And then the Colts ensuing possession. There goes Adam Butler and Max Crosby. Butler's credited with the sack. They bring down Minshew for a loss of 9 yards.
That was key. I thought we'd see a little bit more of that pressure and finally getting to him. He did a good job today of avoiding that pressure.
Colts were forced to punt, and so here the Raiders have the ball and looking for that is pass interference.
That's Devontae Adams. Come on now.
You got to call that. That would have been a very big play. It would have put them at about the 10.
A little questionable.
About the 15 maybe. But that drive would lead to another Raiders punt, and let's go to the second quarter, where A.J. Cole is the unsung hero of this team because he pins them down on their own 10-yard line. It's the 3rd straight possession. The Colts started inside their own 10-yard line. And Gardner Minshew with the screen pass.
Kind of sleeping a little bit right there.
To Michael Pittman Jr. And then look at this one.
Yeah. Minshew.
That was a big play in the ball game, though. 3rd and 1, a shot play. You're able to try to get the ball back right there and
look like we're in
give up a
cover 0 here.
Yeah, 0 coverage. Nobody had him.
Yeah.
Colts extend the lead 14-3. So after the Colts touchdown, Max Crosby's like, remember who we are. The whole world's been talking about us all week because of what we did the last 2 games. Let's do more of that. Let's see if they do here on offense. Zamir White
Tough one.
Rushes up the middle, 9 yards. Big day for Zamir, by the way.
I like it.
And offensively, man, it's the 1 or 2 plays a drive. Like, we get these drives started, we start making plays, and then it's a missed throw here or a missed block there. It's just those 1 or 2 plays that end our drives to stop us from getting points, you know, and it hurt us today.
Yeah. DeForest Buckner with the sack of Aiden O'Connell. 2 plays later, it's 3rd and 14. Davante Adams catches it, but he's got nowhere to go. He's 6 yards short of the first down. The Raiders again are forced to punt. So in the beginning it went field goal, punt, punt, punt. That's not what you want.
Look at these punts, though.
And look at those punts. Though. It's not often we show you punting highlights, but A.J. Cole pins him inside the 6-yard line. Again, they have to start inside the 10. So the Raiders start the second half with the ball. A.J. Cole punts. And the roughing the kicker penalty is called on the Colts.
Just another opportunity here.
That's
clear. That's rough.
Pretty much roughing the kicker.
Yep. I'll tell you, who wouldn't have called that one? It would have been some madness out there.
Here the Raiders are on the edge of the red zone, just at the 26, and Aiden O'Connell to Austin Hooper, first down, 13 yards.
Get some yak after the catch.
3 plays later on 3rd down, Brandon Bolden comes in, 4 yards, first down Raiders. 3 plays later, 3rd and 4, Aiden O'Connell. Why don't you just give it to Tay? Oh, there he goes.
Nice little return route right there by Davante Adams. The best thing about it was the ball coming out of AOC's hands extremely fast. Right when Tay come out of his break, the ball is on him. When you got timing like that, Davante Adams cannot be covered, and that equals 6 of us.
So the Colts lead is cut to 4. This was a close game. This is an important drive for the Colts. On their next possession, it's 3rd and 10, but they make it happen. Gardner Minshew to Kylan Granson for 13 yards. They get a new set of downs. Then 4 plays later, 4th and 1. And they pick up 20 on a 4th and 1.
This was big right here because this is another off-scripted play to where Gardner Minshew just throws up a hope and a wish right here. And his player goes up, Pittman, to make a play, but that was a big-time play. 4th down, it's plays like that in the ball game that really flipped that game into our favor.
This would have been nice.
Oh, another opportunity.
This would have been nice. Max Crosby does a great job of punching the ball out, forces the fumble, but Michael Pittman was in there blocking and just happened to fall on the ball, so that was bad luck for the Raiders. Here we are, 3rd and 9. Alex Pierce.
Some of these just didn't bounce our way today.
Right.
14 yards. It's a penalty, though, offensive holding, so it's called back.
Back them up.
And so instead of continuing the drive, they're going to settle for a field goal. Instead of going for 7, they get 3. And the Colts lead is now 17-10. In the 4th quarter, Raiders have the ball. It's 3rd and 10. Aiden O'Connell looking to make something happen, but Jalen Jones, it looks like he down.
Yeah.
But there is a flag.
Yeah, you see him look back.
What's this?
Look,
slingshot itself.
You can't sling. Can't do that, bro. No. So that's coming back. Pass interference. And Trey Sermon.
Yeah,
remember the old
player.
He was drafted by the 49ers. 27-yard rush to the Las Vegas 22.
Got to do a better job on those edges for the defensive end. So.
It's a nice looking run right there, though. We know coming into this game, the Indianapolis Colts want to run the football behind that big and physical offensive line, and they had a couple good runs today. So
this is a good job. The Raiders defense bends but doesn't break. They hold them to another field goal. Matt Gay hits it from 33 yards out, and the Colts make it a 2-possession game, 20-10. So the Raiders get the ball back here on a 4th and 10, and of course the offense comes off going, we're gonna wait, we're not.
Look at that clock.
Wait, okay.
5, 4, young.
We're going for it. A 4th and 10. Okay, we gotta get the ball up. We did, and Trey Tucker is open. Okay, we meant to do that.
Yeah.
Had it all under control. So that was a big play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge play.
It was a gutsy play.
And not only that, it's great call by Antonio Pierce because there's 6 minutes and 50-some seconds left in the game. If you don't get that, they're going to eat up minimum 3 more minutes, and you're down 10. So you had to go for that. They complete it. You find Davante Adams again on the same drive, and now we're in scoring business. Can we make it happen?
Raiders in the red zone now. Aiden O'Connell intended for Davante Adams. And you said, James, that Aiden needs to throw the ball higher here.
Yeah, this is something that, you know, obviously playing with a young quarterback and a young quarterback trying to get some chemistry with Davante Adams. I would love to see him put this football in the air just like he did later in the game when Davante Adams caught the touchdown pass, as we'll see in a minute. Give him an opportunity to go make a play. It's tough to make a play on the back shoulder.
So at this point, the Raiders' lead is cut to 7.
This is absolutely crazy right here, man.
That's uncatchable.
That ball 19 yards out of bounds.
Very questionable pass interference call is called on Jack Jones, but it doesn't matter what we think because it gives a fresh set of downs to the Colts.
Yeah, that was tough right there, man, on Jack Jones. And then the referee comes back and says, you think we can't do nothing better? Watch this. All right, we're going to get you again, Jack Jones. And as you can see, the center moves the ball. This is an excellent jump right here by Jack Jones, you know, coming off of the football as the center moved the ball, and he shanked it. But home field advantage sometimes helps you out. That's what they did for the Indianapolis Colts. I feel you, my brother, from another mother. They got you. Field goal good. Raiders driving.
All right, so Raiders have a chance here. A little over 3 minutes left in the game. Trey Tucker hauls one in for 20 yards. 3 plays later, it's 1st and 10. Aiden O'Connell to Davante Adams. Nice grab, 15 yards. Down to the 20 now. Now 3 plays later, 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah, put it on him.
15-yard catch and
reach that thing.
Not quite there.
Reach that thing.
Just inside. That's all right.
Fade him up.
Right.
See, this is the one right here.
Gone.
Touchdown. See, he heard you.
He heard me put the ball up in the air.
You
know, maybe Davante Adams told him in the huddle, you do know I have a 40-inch vertical. Throw the football up in the air. Let me go play basketball, what I grew up doing. It's a rebound. Get that thing on my chin. Bicep, touchdown, Raiders, onside kick coming.
The last attempt. And
oh, my goodness.
Good.
That's a heck of a kick right there, too.
Pretty good.
I'll tell you.
That's the game, though. That's how the game went. None of these footballs bounced our way in this game, and the last one bounced their way as well. Yep. And we fall again in a 1-score game.
The rest have had a bad week this week.
Amber.
All right, so here are the final game stats brought to you by Sportswater. And look, we had more first downs than them.
Don't look like
we had 21 more total plays than them. The Raiders did. The Raiders had more total yards than the Colts. The Raiders won the time of possession battle and still lost the game. Usually, it doesn't end up that way.
No, that looked like a great day right there by the offense. 21 first downs, 33 minutes, time of possession. Today, 26. Like I said, it's just those 1 or 2 plays, and we all know in the National Football League, the football game comes down to those 1 or 2 plays, and they did not bounce our way today. Yep. And we sit here today.
Out of the playoffs.
Body language, a little toe up.
Yeah.
But look, it is a game of inches, right?
Yes,
and, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but there was a lot of close games this year for the Raiders. And there was 4 one-score games that they ended up losing. Yeah. This was a winnable game that they could have stayed in the playoff hunt. And now the Colts have a wild card spot. They stay there. I know they have to watch around and see what else happens. But there are things with this offense, I think, that is concerning.
Yep.
There's a lot of, we continue to evaluate Aiden O'Connell, right? And we see good things. We see his ability to bounce back and resilience, not making the good pass to Davante, then making the good pass to him and as a touchdown. But there's a lot of balls that are behind guys or put them in a precarious position. So I think there's some growth there. But what did you take away from the offense, JJ?
I mean, it's tough because we're all Raiders up here, and we want to see this thing just get flipped around like it was yesterday. But this is what's going to happen with a young quarterback, and we got to embrace it, right? You're going to have those missed throws. You're going to have the miscommunications. You're going to have this kind of roller coaster. We've seen it with every young quarterback in the National Football League. It's not just going to happen overnight, so we want it to, but that is just what we're experiencing right now. And I think Antonio Pierce and Bo and the offensive coordinator did a great job because each week this young fella got better and bounced back, but this is expected, right? A young quarterback seeing a bunch of different looks from a bunch of different defenses, really good defensive coordinators. It's going to happen. You want him to make all the throws. You want him to be consistent, but he's a rookie.
Yeah, for the second week in a row, I think he hasn't had his comfort in Michael Mayer. And Michael's a huge guy for you to be in third down, being able to get the ball. He runs tough. He's a big physical player. And I think we really missed him in the middle of the football field as that go-to guy. When everyone else is covered, dump the ball down to him. He's going to be able to get you maybe the first down. So that missing link for Aiden, I think, is really key for how the offense has really looked the last couple of weeks. Because remember, when Michael's in, man, it's something that we can really rely on.
It's an option for sure in the red zone.
Yeah.
We've seen them develop that relationship. All right, still to come on Raiders Game Day, we're going to talk to Zamir White, who, man, did the Raiders learn they have something. The future of this young man is bright. Raiders Game Day is brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation. Made to chill. 2023 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. And so the Raiders leave Indianapolis with the 23-20 loss. They're now eliminated from the playoffs. But one bright spot over the past two games has been Zamir White, who stepped in for an injured Josh Jacobs, and he joins us now from Lucas Oil Stadium. And Zamir, I know this is not the outcome that you guys were looking for, but just describe the emotion now after the run that you guys have been on since Week 9 under Antonio Pierce, and the grit that you've shown over these last few weeks.
Since Week 9, it's been love and passion and gut. Like them guys and coach, like we really like come like together and as one really. Here, like at this place, it's a family, and it's like it's a family, not just business. So like we take it real personal. Wins, losses, bad plays, or anything, like we take it real personal. So yes, ma'am.
Zamir, it's JJ here. Talk to us a little bit about you just being more involved, man. I know you got an opportunity when Josh Jacobs went down, but every carry you got, it just seems like the game slowed down to you. Each game, it seemed like the game slowed down to you. You kind of knew where you wanted to run, where these runs was designed to run, and you started, looking like that young fella that was back at Georgia. Talk to us a little bit about how the game kind of slowed down and how you've been feeling out there.
The linemen just started leaning on them guys. Like the coach had got tired, and the lineman just kept on piling them. Yacht just kept on piling them. So yes, sir, just blocks really, and just being comfortable back there, just being me.
Zamir, it seems like this coaching staff has really done an outstanding job with young players, developing them till the end of the season where you guys are fresh. How has that been in practice?
Yes, in practice, Coach KP managed us a lot, like me, Josh, and Brandon Mir. So we're fresh at practice, like all week long, because on certain days, but this guy get the reps and this guy get the reps. So we come on game day, bro. We pretty fresh and ready to play.
Zamir, we really got an opportunity to see what you could do and being a versatile back, catching a lot of balls out of the backfield. But just kind of going off of what Eric was saying about the young players, is there a feeling that the future of the Raiders and the organization is bright after the ending? I know it's, you guys aren't going to the playoffs, but the promise and the development that this team showed going forward into the offseason.
Most definitely. Like this team has so much grit and passion. I'm playing out there, so yes, ma'am, definitely. We got one more game, and we go back to work on Wednesday. Go to practice and but just dial it up and play hard.
Well, Zamir, thanks so much for giving us some time, and have a safe trip back from Indy. We'll see you back here in Vegas. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
One thing we've learned at the end of this season as the Raiders' young players, they really have some young players to build on, to start to build a foundation towards a winning culture into next year. And Zamir White probably wouldn't have gotten playing time if Josh Jacobs hadn't gotten hurt, but he did. And what do you see from him, Eric, that makes him very versatile? We saw a lot of catches out of the backfield. And how valuable can that be to a quarterback?
Really the purpose when you're running the football and you're expected to finish forward and find ways to break tackles, all those things you want in a running game. And it's particularly if you're trying to protect the young quarterback.
Yeah.
You need the running game to be the pivot point where you can kind of bounce off of and have those play actions. He's the perfect running back for this kind of football team.
Yep.
That's going to play action pass, get those hard physical runs. I love the pad level. I love what he's about. He's a guy who's going to come to work every day and try and give his best.
Yeah, and I think what's impressive to me is the soft hands out of the backfield. Like, him and Josh Jacobs are similar.
Yeah.
You know, and when you talk about a running game, a two-headed monster at the running game with a young quarterback, listen, we're going to have a young quarterback next year. Whether it's AOC or whether it's another guy, it's going to be a young quarterback. And the best thing you could do for him is put a run game behind him with a good offensive line. And we have found out we have two really good ones. Not just one in Josh Jacobs. Zamir White has shown us that we have two really good backs to be able to help at this young quarterback. And they both can catch the ball out the backfield. So it's definitely, you know, some exciting times happening in Las Vegas with these two backs in the
We
back.
heard Antonio Pierce say that even if Josh Jacobs was going to be healthy, that Zamir White had earned the right to get carried, even if Josh was able to go.
Yes.
And that's big. That's the former league-leading rusher that he was going to get some carries kind of in conjunction with. So that's a huge compliment.
And not only that, that's huge for Josh, though.
It's big for Josh,
to have Josh
too.
to be fresh in the fourth quarter because you got this young fella running is huge for him.
And look, he's gotten, but he came in week 15 in that Chargers game. He was up to 22 carries last week, 20 this week. Hit 145 yards last week. This week, he had 106 all-purpose yards. So we really saw that yards from scrimmage capability for Zamir White. But Zamir White, Michael Mayer, we also have Trey Tucker. I just feel like Malcolm Kuntz.
A lot of guys
There's a lot of Adam Butler, a lot of guys that have shown that they can make plays. It feels like they came up one game short. You'd love to go into the Broncos game, having an opportunity, but you have to be happy about the type of talent that we're starting to see on this team and the future of this team, and they get to do it again next week and go out with a bang and hopefully beat them.
Yeah, it says a lot about coaching and how you coach through the season. It's not just X and O's, how you develop players, the confidence that you instill those players in practice. You show them how to practice. All of our young guys at this point, like you alluded to, are getting better as the season goes on. That's very difficult to do, particularly when you're really leaning on these young players to really, you know, kind of create that environment.
Yeah, and you spoke on coaching, man. I can't speak enough of AP, man, just how the mindset of this football team has, how he has these dudes playing and going, the energy and effort. And there's nothing to play for next week. Watch these boys come out.
They're going to come out and
Watch
play.
these boys come out and play.
For sure. And the very first thing Zamir White said is since week 9, it's been love and passion. We've become a family.
Time,
how often do you hear a player speak like that? Good things are happening in the Raiders locker room. All right, coming up next on Raiders Game Day, EA and JJ are going to break down Minshew's big plays. They were very timely. We'll take a look coming up next.
I'm Jack Dow. I'm the quarterback at Green Valley High School. I've been blessed with the opportunity to give back to the next generation of football players. We run a flag football program called Next Level Flag. I've had the chance to be able to coach some 2nd and 3rd graders. And when you're given a platform, you have to use it, especially with the platform I've been given to inspire the next generation. This game's not going to go forever. So to be a role model for somebody coming up who wants to fill my position, it's just absolutely incredible. I'd like to thank Intermountain Health and the Las Vegas Raiders for this incredible opportunity. Thank you guys so much. Go Raiders!
Welcome back. The Raiders fall to 7-9 with their 23-20 loss to the Colts today. They're knocked out of the playoffs. Gardner Minshew, he's not exactly a gunslinger, but he has his team in the playoffs, and today he was averaging 9 yards a throw. That led to some crucial scoring drives for the Colts. And to talk more about it, let's turn it over to James and EA.
Yeah, Amber, I'll tell you what, Gardner Minshew made some big-time plays in critical times in this football game. We're talking 3rd down, 4th down, those money downs
big time.
when we need to get that pressure on Gardner.
Absolutely.
As we see here, 3rd down here early in the football game. This is the biggest play early on in the football game so far. And we see Matz gets up. Look at this. He extends the play, escapes right out that little hole there. And look at the throw. It's a toss down the field in a broken zone play. He's able to make the play. Great eyes and great ability to be able to extend the plays you see here, JJ. These are things that kill you. 3rd down, big-time play. He's able to come up with a big play.
And we all know off-scripted plays is what really hurts the defense. And you don't got to be Lamar Jackson. You can be Gardner Minshew, just stepping up to the pocket, escaping a little bit, and making plays, and that's what he did.
Yeah, right here he notices cover 0. No one's in the middle of the football field. you're thinking a veteran quarterback, all I need to do is just get the ball in the air, kind of away from that DB, as you see here. All our DBs up in the middle, our safes up in the box. Gardner Minshew's just thinking, hey, I just need to get this ball up and in the middle of the football field to allow my receiver to make a play. Cornerback-wise, if it's zero, I got to be inside.
You got to be inside, and you got to know nothing over the top.
That's
if you catch this underneath, I'm going to tackle, nothing over the top. And that was a big-time play. And then getting right here, EA, fourth down, doing some of the similar things. An opportunity to bat the ball down, and they pick up 20 yards on a 4th and 1. Another Gardner Minshew stopping, making a play, and giving this guy an opportunity to make a play on the ball.
That was really the difference today in the quarterbacks, being able to extend play, make plays for your football team in those critical situations. We weren't able to do it. They were able to do it, and that's a big reason why they were able to get the W today, Amber.
Yeah, man, so check it out. So we seen 21 in the empty give up a touchdown, right? One of the 21s I know, he wouldn't do that. He would have went and got the ball. I don't know his name. They call him EA, but I got some plays. I know it's in black and white. I know it's in black and white. But my dog is a Hall of Fame finalist right now. He better get in, too. But this is the young EA. Give me that. Watch out now. Let me turn into a receiver.
Spin right here.
EA hit the spin. Let me sidestep right there. Pick him up. Look at his knees. Look at his knees.
Hey.
Young EA running.
Hey, early on, Ben Smith was like, give me the ball. I was like, no.
I'm going
the high step in the end zone. EA. And before the game, Randall got hurt in this game, our quarterback, the ultimate weapon, right? Got his knee blown out. So after all this, I'm thinking now, at this point right now, I'm thinking I'm back at home in San Diego playing some Valencia Park Pop Warner, getting through the holes.
No doubt.
But when I got in the end zone, I saw Randall in the tunnel and handed him the ball.
There you go. There you go.
Man.
So you knew he was out, so you knew I got to go score.
I got to do
I'm
something.
a receiver / running back. I got to help Randall out. I got my hands on the football. But that's EA. Congratulations, my brother, Hall of Fame finalist. We pray you getting in, brother. Absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate you, my man.
Amber, back to you. You see young EA running.
Yeah, nobody is rooting for you more than your Raiders family here. That one touchdown was one of 8 defensive touchdowns in your career, 54 career interceptions, 787 combined tackles, 6-time Pro Bowl selection, 3-time All-Pro selection. That means you're the best at your position, in case people didn't know what All-Pro means, and the only NFL player to have 3 or more interceptions for a touchdown in 2 separate seasons. Put the man in the Hall of Fame!
Man, stop playing.
Where do we put our vote? Where's my vote go? Who do I need to call? We're gonna get some Raiders thugs out here to get you.
I know if he don't get in, it's gonna be a problem.
We're excited for you and congratulations. I know it's an exciting time. And take a look at some of these highlights. I could sit and watch these all day.
I tell you what, some of this,
Get down.
Yeah, just gotta let them know. This is Jake the Snake Plumber.
Give me that, Jake the Snake. Tell him quit trying, you EA.
He's a mushroom farmer now. I bet you didn't know that.
He is. Little bat down. This is the olden days.
It's the young.
I was crafty at this point.
Oh, look at
had a young.
There you go.
Some hands.
I got that, JJ.
You know how to track the ball. You got the ball skills. Give it over the shoulder. Over the shoulder.
That's Joey Galloway, 4.240.
Joey Galloway.
So at the end of this play, I tore my ACL. That was my first year in Oakland. So I tore my ACL. But came back and had 6 more picks.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Only 6?
You know what I'm saying? Give us that.
You were a nightmare for quarterbacks. They did not want to face you.
This is some good stuff, man.
They kept trying.
Because Charles Wood was on the other side.
So,
Is that Testaverde that you picked off? I'm trying to look at these old quarterbacks you're picking off.
Testaverde.
There you go. There's Testaverde again.
Testaverde.
I think
shouldn't have tested you.
Tips and overthrows. Tips and overthrows. Made a career.
Tips and overthrows, and then get to the house.
You had some
the sideline.
You had that speed, too high stepping.
That's probably year 13 right there, JJ.
It looked like year 2. It looked like year 2. It looked like year 2.
I'm just trying to do my thing.
Well, I'll tell you, that'll be a fun week leading up to the Super Bowl right here in Vegas, waiting for the knock on the door and not the knock on the door. We'll be there for you.
I trust this is going to be the year.
We feel
all the Raider faithful
And I know you get a lot of tickets. It's going to be a party out there, so
we better be invited to the party. That's
what I was getting at.
We're coming to your party.
I'm wearing my gold jacket jacket every time I get
everywhere. You're gonna wear every single
right
Raiders
here.
game day next year.
I know you know JJ a fool, and you might be like, I don't want him there. But
All right, coming up, we're going to hear from Antonio Pierce, a tough loss for the coach that has done so much for this organization in the interim. This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in.
Situational football, and today, whether it was short yardage situations or some untimely penalties, it felt like there were some self-inflicted wounds today. How frustrating is that, and what was a winnable game for you?
Yeah, very difficult. When the Raiders play the Raiders, we've been pretty good as far as being focused pre-snap. That didn't happen today on both sides of the ball. And again, that kind of costs you in a game like this where it comes down to 3 points, where you have opportunities on 3rd and 4th and 1 to keep drives alive.
Coach, did you see anything this week in practice that maybe this was coming, or did this surprise you?
As far as what's, I'm sorry?
The mental mistakes that the team's been avoiding.
No, I didn't see it. I mean, same schedule, same thing we've been doing. You can't point fingers at player. We got to do a better job, obviously, as coaches, right? That's what you're going to hear. It's just a focus thing, right? I mean, false starts, offsides, that's Raiders beating themselves, and that's something that for 7 games at least, we hadn't done. And then today it kind of came up and it bit us.
Do you think that Jack Jones was offsides on that one play?
I didn't see it. They called it, so I mean it went against us. If it did, obviously something happened for them to make it. It was too close.
There was also the pass interference. Looked kind of like the ball might have been out of bounds. Did you get a chance to look at that or talk to the referees about that?
No, I talked to her. I just asked a simple question. They felt like he interfered while the ball's in there. They didn't think it was too far out of bounds. I don't want to second guess the judges, the referees, excuse me, just like I'm going to be second guess.
A couple of punts on 4th and 1 in the first half. What were you thinking as far as the confidence in the offense at that point, not really having it? Or
I don't think they were 4th and 1. I think it was like a long 2. Am I correct on that one? Most 4th and 1s, we were going for it. You got your analytics, you get a feel for the game, field position. I think, for the most part, we've been playing really good football when we play field position. And typically our defense has done a good job when they're backed up, of keeping teams backed up. That might not have been the case every time today. Just giving our offense a short field has been our mindset. Yes, sir.
Antonio, every game obviously in the NFL is a season into itself, and that now that this, you guys are kind of eliminated from the playoff chase, what is the mood right now of the team going forward?
The guys are disappointed. Why wouldn't you be? I mean, we want to win every game. We had a great opportunity there. We're right there at the very end. Moving forward, we get paid to play 17 games. I'm being paid to instruct and coach for 17 games, and we got one at home that we're excited about. We'll move forward like we've done everything. If we won the game, I'd have come up here to say the same thing. We're moving forward. We'll be off of this in 24 hours. Get ready for a divisional opponent at home against the Broncos. And we're excited about that. Another opportunity for us to get better. Season ain't over until it's over. I get the playoffs, and that's all that. That's all fine and dandy. But we got another game to play, and it's at home, and we're ready to do it. We'll be ready to do it.
I'm sure you guys felt good about it.
Time now for one big number, and we're talking about penalties. There were 7 penalties for 54 yards given up by the Raiders. And what's weird is that the Raiders were the least penalized team in the NFL coming into this game, and somehow out of nowhere they became an undisciplined team. There was false starts. Jermaine Illuminor had 2 false starts in the first quarter. We saw Jakob Johnson have a false start. There was a delay of game. I know one was intentional to get in a better punting position, but I do have to say, too, those penalties, as we show in the highlights with Jack Johnson.
Yes.
I know it seems like, Jack Jones, it seems like they were game-changing plays, and they were, but when you look at the replay, I don't think those were penalties.
Yep. Yeah. They got us on a couple of them, but these are the ones right here that we're showing right here, the ones that I'm most worried about, right? Is because these are pre-snap penalties. Pre-snap penalties we should not have. Combative penalties, those is going to come 24/7. We cannot control the referees. The referees are going to call the game the way they want to call it if they see certain things. But the pre-snaps, when you have an opportunity to extend drives and you have these pre-snaps and then you got to punt the football, those are huge mistakes. Combative ones, those are going to happen, but the pre-snaps cannot not happen, and that bit us today.
That ball's not catchable. How are you going to get past?
That ball's not catchable.
What'd you say? You said Randy Moss couldn't have caught that ball.
Come on, that's not catchable.
Yeah.
And
that was a bad call.
Yeah, at this point in the season, this late in the season, the referees you have to allow the game to breathe a little bit. Just really unfortunate. And even this one here, at the end, Jack is getting up. He's popping up, right? He's not going across. So, listen. We shouldn't have put ourselves in this situation.
Yeah.
Offensively, we just didn't have that it kind of factor today. But the penalties have really just hurt us today.
I mean, that's a pass rush move right there. You see that 24/7, guys jumping the snap. Once that center moves, even though the ball ain't snapped yet, he has moved his hands. That was excellent by Jack Jones right there, jumping that. And it bit us, but at the end of the day, a couple penalties in this game, and even the ones that wasn't penalties, right? It was a couple situations offensively to where we could have picked up third downs and extended drives and scored points. It was times to where we had defense, had Minshew fourth and one, we just showed it, right? If we make those plays, penalties don't matter. So, Amber, you said it right before this show started, 1 or 2 plays in this game.
That's what this league is. Game of inches, 1 or 2 plays.
They win against
All right, when we come back, Davante Adams hit yet another milestone. We'll hear from him as he joins the reporters in the Raiders locker room. That's coming up next on Raiders Game Day. This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Now the team's officially eliminated from the playoffs, and you look back at some of these games that you guys should have won. Is this kind of a missed opportunities type of season?
I mean, every season that you don't go to the playoffs is missed opportunity. I mean, all the teams in this league are good. It's just a matter of how you go out there and play, and we just didn't play good enough to do that. I mean, anybody, I'm sure all the teams that are eliminated at this point, not just us, are frustrated. You know, and we definitely are a little extra just based off of what we have and the potential of this team.
In the second half, what were some things that you saw from Aiden O'Connell that kind of, were better down the stretch?
I think he just got put in some good positions and then went out there and executed. You could tell he got a little bit more comfortable. We just, in the first half, just didn't really have a flow. None of the calls weren't mixing. We weren't, coming up with some contested grabs, and that makes it tough on building a rhythm for the offense. So receivers got to do a better job of making contested ones whenever they're there, and coaches got to put us in the best possible position, and that'll help.
And Davante Adams continues to get his numbers for the 4th season in a row. He goes over 1,000 receiving yards. He had 126 today and 2 touchdowns. But, I asked you guys earlier about Aiden O'Connell and the passes, and he had a really classy answer of, in those contested balls, I've got to do a better job of getting them. I think that's also being a really good teammate. But what it came down to, Davante, what is your take on what his role was today in this offense as far as getting those numbers, even when it looked like the offense wasn't very productive?
Well, they targeted him a lot. They gave him a lot of opportunities, whether it was short, whether it was long passes. They gave him a lot of opportunities. And he's right. You are playing with a young quarterback. The ball may be there. The ball may be there. The ball may be there. Like, you're going to have to make these tough catches. And there was a couple of them that Davante Adams had a chance to get his hands on and make those catches for the quarterback. Yes, we all want the ball right here, quarterback. Come on, you. But it ain't going to happen like that because they get hit sometimes too. But he's right. EB preaches that 24/7. It's a lot of Davante Adams jerseys out there because he don't just make regular plays.
Yep.
And that is what he prides himself on. And he let 1 or 2 of them go today, and he knows he has to help his young quarterback out. And the young quarterback know that he has to help his receivers out and put better footballs out there for them to catch. So it was just one of those days to where they were a little off, and that was the offense, up and down.
I think this has been a great year as far as leadership. Because when you're not getting your numbers and you are the guy, he's one of the best players in the National Football League, and it's been a great year for him battling through all the changes and adversity with the coaching changes and the quarterbacks being juggled. And for a guy like Davante, the relationships he's had with other quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr, it's been tight. They've been guys who communicate, that non-communication, that verbal communication. And so now to have quarterbacks who you really don't know, and you get into a game and they don't know, hey, should I throw the back, should I fade, should I throw it up top? Yeah. All those things. Yeah. But Devontae has been a pure professional this whole time, and I kind of take my hat off to him for that.
He has. All right, we're going to take a break here on Raiders Game Day as we hear from Aiden O'Connell, who will be speaking at the podium at Lucas Oil Stadium. That's next. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. The mark of a fighter, drink responsibly.
Take us through, the game just got a slow start. What happened there? There just seemed to be very little momentum early.
Yeah, I think just being ourselves early on with penalties, just, everyone involved, including myself, and, just not as good communication as we needed early on and execution. And so, it's hard to overcome those things in the NFL. And so, I needed a faster start, needed better execution, definitely start with myself on that one. So that was disappointing.
Does that happen, Aiden, when you guys know what's at stake and everything, it's basically a play-in game? Yeah,
I think, it's the NFL, right? So I think you can't rely on momentum from last week. You can't look ahead. I think every series, every play has enough of its own that you got to lock in on. And I think, I think we could have done a better job of that today. Again, myself included. And, just getting behind the sticks is hard to overcome. And, we definitely should have scored more points today than we did. So that was probably the most frustrating part.
And the Raiders struggled with inconsistency all year. Could never find that consistency on offense that they were looking for. And we keep talking about how it comes down to a couple of inches, to one score. And when we start to look back, when you don't make the playoffs, as the Raiders now will not be able to make the playoffs, you start to look at the missed opportunities. And here's a list of some missed opportunities. There was 5 one-score games that the Raiders lost. Even put them on the winning side of 1 or 2 of those. Yes. And they're in the playoff hunt. And I think what's even more heartbreaking is they lost to Tyson Bagent. They lost to Kenny Pickett, Josh Dobbs, Nick Mullins, Gardner Minshew now today. These weren't world-beater quarterbacks, that they lost, that outscored them, that outscored the offense. And especially a week after beating Patrick Mahomes. So that's where the inconsistency comes into play. But when you have a young team, the hope is that the next year, those one-score losses can get more in the win column, and that's the difference between a winning and losing team.
Yeah, the building blocks, and you want to see those building blocks hopefully during the season, and you don't have to wait a whole off season for you to really establish yourself and your identity. It just seemed like this year with the shakeup at quarterback, we really weren't able to get to a point where we were able to put ourselves in position to be having those big-time strike plays at the end of games to really win those one-score games. I think that's really the issue here going forward.
And I remember when I was a young player, Coach Mike McCarthy always used to tell us, we got Aaron Rodgers, we got Charles Woodson, we got all these good professional athletes and all-pro players and all that, but you got to learn how to win. You know what I'm saying? And I think for the Raiders, we have a lot of all-pro players, a lot of really good players. We have a really good coach in Antonio Pierce, but this is stepping stones, and they really have to learn how to win. Right now, as a Raiders football team, they need to learn how to win. It's like this. You wake up for the big-time games. You might not wake up for the games that's not that big. It is hard to learn how to win, and they got to find a way to do that, and I think Antonio Pierce is the right guy to get that done, and that's why I said you'll see them come out in this last game and finish it the right way.
Yeah, now and they get an opportunity to go up against a Broncos team that has its own issues with the whole Russell Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, who the Raiders know Jarrett Stidham very well.
Break out the tape.
Will be the starting quarterback.
Hey,
they're very familiar. And then, of course, the playoffs will begin throughout January, and the road to the Super Bowl ends right here in Las Vegas, where Las Vegas will host the Super Bowl. So that's what we have to look forward to. But the Raiders lose this one 23-20 to the Colts. They're now 7-9, out of playoff contention, but they got one more to show what they got for Antonio Pierce. For Eric Allen, James Jones, I'm Amber Theoharis. Have a good Sunday and Happy New Year, everyone.